In der Heimen Basimche sind wie nur das Kenz. Macht man noch jenem Chotsch, es macht nicht ganz Sens. Sie leben von sich, wer will und nehmen a Chance. Wie Tier Chazoi, wenn je...
Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. Today we'll discuss a halacha on this week's Parshiyos. Vayakhel Pekudei Mechubaros and Shabbos Chazak. It says in Svarim, Charisha, Zriya, Ketzira. That's the way you devote your time and your effort to Torah, mit Haravanya. A lot of Parshas Vayakhel Pekudei we already know from the earlier Parshas, which talks about the parts and the donations given to the building of the Mishkan. And in Parshas Vayakhel, Perik Lamed Hey Pasuk Dalid, Vayomer Moshe El Kol Adas B'nei Yisrael Leimer, Zeh HaDavar Asher Tziva Hashem Leimer. This is what Hashem wanted. That K'chu Me'itchem Truma LaHashem. Please get a donation, or uplifting, as how the Mefarshim explain what Truma is. Kol Nediv Liboy. Anybody who wants to donate, anybody who with an open heart, Yivieha Es Trumas Hashem. And then the pasuk goes on over a couple of psukim explaining all the things, all the different things that they needed for donations to be able to build the Mishkan, from gold, silver, oil, wood, etc. All the donations. Now the expressions here, Kol Nediv Liboy Yivieha. He begins by saying K'chu Me'itchem. Take it from them. And then he says, Kol Nediv Liboy Yivieha. So there's a shtickle, different approach from the beginning and the end. And we find that the Mefarshim on the pasuk speak about this. The Klayarka speaks about this, and he says that in K'chu seems a lashon of Bal Korchoi, Yivieha means Me'atzmoi, and he discusses the different parts of the donation. But we find two interesting details in collections of donations. Once before, I've spoken about a woman bringing a donation, and there's a discussion in halacha if she's allowed to sign off a large check. Perhaps in Shulchan Aruch it says, unless it's her money, her own money, who knows if she's giving what belongs to her husband. And that's a discussion in halacha. The Baal HaTurim on this pasuk says that since we see the pasuk describes the donation in these words, and perhaps it should have been written Yavi, Yavi'u, Yavieha, says the Baal HaTurim, a very geschmacked thing. B'shivil shemedaber b'nidbas hamishkan, since amongst the donations that were brought for the Mishkan was misnadvim tachshitei zav v'chesev, people brought jewelry, gold and silver jewelry, which are kli hanashim, which must probably belong to the women, asher yivieha, meaning to say, pirush shelayavi mishel tachshitei isha elamirtzaina. So the Torah is telling us that if you're going to bring tachshitim, zav v'chesef, make sure that she's happy, she's willing to give this away too. So as of last time we spoke about a woman giving what belongs to a man, the Baal HaTurim is worried about a man giving a woman's jewelry that belongs to her. It has to be Yevieha Mirtzaina. She has to be willing to give to depart with this jewelry. That is the person giving. About the collector, the fundraiser, so the Sefornu says, K'chu me'itchem, atem, bachru anashim sheyikablu me'itchem truma l'Hashem. Please appoint different people who will go around to collect these donations. But, Kol Nediv Liboy, Lo yelchu gabayim ligabaysa bezroya. The gabayim shouldn't come and with rough demands, shrai and scream, they want this and this and this. They just come and appear And the nediv libai, the person who's willing and able and full-heartedly is willing to give it, take it. So there shouldn't be gviya bizraya. Okay, so we see the fundraiser. Actually, who is qualified to be a gabbai tzedakah, and what halachas are connected with a gabbai tzedakah, is a siman in Shulchan Aruch. And that is in Yeredeya Siman Reish Nun Zayin. And a lot of lihizarher from chshad, or people shouldn't suspect the person that he's pocketing money, a lot of it applies to a fundraiser. As it says, the first halacha says, gabbai tzedakah, people who collect money for tzedakah, and it's usually more than one person collecting together, einam rashayim lifrosh zeh mizeh b'shuk. When they go with the money, they shouldn't split up. Ela kadei sheyiru zeh zeh. It should only be in a way where they can still see each other. Shehei zeh parish l'shar v'zeh parish l'chanus. No. Because as the Mefarshim say, then people are going to start talking. The guy is going to a side alley, he is pocketing some of that money. So you have to be very aware not to do things that are suspicious. So much so, says the Shulchan Aruch, Matzah hagabbai mois b'shuk, if a gabbai walking in the street, somebody who's known to be a gabbai tzedakah, finds money in the marketplace, in a public area, which could be his now, lo yitnem l'toich kisa. He can't put it in his pocket, because if people know him as the fundraiser, and they're thinking, he just took public money and pocketed it. El l'toich arnik yishal tzedakah. He has to put it into his bag of tzedakah. When he comes home, then yitlem, because that was his money. But be aware what people think. And then, this is the care that a gabbai tzedakah has to be aware of. This is a little different than what it says on Siv Beis. From the other hand, we give them a vast amount of responsibility and trust. As it says in the next halacha, once we appointed somebody who's a gabbai, who's qualified to be an honest gabbai tzedakah, we don't really nudge them to give us a report. Because this is a pasuk which is mentioned by us. Shenemar v'lo es ha'anoshim asher yitnu es ha'kesef al yodam la'seis la'oisei ha'malacha ki be'emuna ha'im oisim. Because we are sure that the gabbai tzedakah who were appointed and are trustworthy people have this trust from us that they're doing everything right. This is what the Mechaber says. Comes the Ramah and says, Mikol Mokim, nevertheless, Kedei sheyiyu nekiyim me'Hashem Yisrael, for them to have a clean record and make sure that everybody is happy with, and nobody is suspecting them for any crime or any small pocketing. Toiv lahem litan cheshbon. This is it's good and proper. They should give a cheshbon mefurat of all the money as it came in and where it went out, so people shouldn't suspect them. And the Ramah says, V'chol zeh b'gabayim haksherim. This trust that we give into people, those are the honest gabayim. Aval mi she'ein kosher, somebody who doesn't have this cheskas kashrus, he got himself this position, he pushed himself in, tzarich litan cheshbon. He must give a cheshbon for where the money went that he's fundraising. V'hu hadin b'chol memunim ala tzibur. Or anybody who is appointed for any position for community acts, if he is memunah ala tzibur, either he had mitzad yashrus, mitzad miyisem ekiyam Hashem Yisrael, he has to do it. And if he's not the most trusted person, he has to give a din v'cheshbon where all the money is going. Yeshikoyach, and please join us again next week.